Hey folks, welcome back to the channel. We have a new event in Escape from Tarkov, though what it is exactly is still to be revealed, but we do have a series of some pretty interesting tasks, and if you actually read into the dialogue, there's some pretty cool stuff there. Now the tasks do consist of your typical Tarkov, go here, find that, scout this, kill scavs, but there is even a mini game that you play inside your rest base in your hideout now, which is something we've never done before. And like I said, there's a lot of good lore that goes along with it that is included that's fun to read through. But the lore isn't what this video is about. This video is a down and dirty guide to help you get through these tasks and keep up with the pack. And yes, these tasks are both on PvE and PvP. Along with that, the good news, they aren't really all that difficult. So you should be able to get through at least this first batch of about 9 tasks with 4 or 5 hours of gameplay. There's a caveat there, but we'll get to that in a second. So let's dive in and get you guys up to speed. First off, we're gonna start with a shopping list. I see you guys commenting a lot on my guides, and you'll get partway through a video and wish I had told you something that you needed up front. So let's do that now. These are items you need to have for the first 9 tasks in this event's task chain. Okay, so first up, the thing that you need to do, and this is going to be independent on each individual, is you need to get your rest space upgraded to level 3 and your intel center built to at least level 1. Now, the good news is BSG reduced the hardcore requirements on both of these and removed some of their precursors. Like you don't need normally you need generator 3 to do rest space 3, but as you can see, I already have it and I don't have generator 3 done yet. So they removed that. So it's a lot easier. It's a lot cheaper to build these up. Obviously, it's way easier if you have the flea market because you can buy things, but the requirements are lowered enough that you should be able to go into a raid and get everything you need pretty quickly. On top of that, if you do have the flea market, you will get a lot of the parts for these as task rewards. So you can use those for there, or you can buy what you need and then sell those parts later afterwards. And this includes the green batteries. So again, don't be afraid to fork over some cash to get your rest space upgraded to 3 and your intel to 1. Now, for items outside of getting your upgrades done, the first thing you need for tasks is you need to have 2 found and raid PC CPUs. You need to have 3 found and raid printed circuit boards, and you can craft these, so keep that in mind, and 4 RAMs. So 4 of those, and they have to all be found and raid, and you're going to turn them into mechanic. The next thing up is a new thumb drive with military data. It looks like the old military flash drives. I say old, but what we've always had. It's not a military flash drive. As you can see, this says MFD here, and this says data. You want the data ones, and it's going to say thumb drive with military data on it when you double click. You need 11 of these. Now, that sounds like a lot, but they're really easy to get. I did scav raids on reserve and hit filing cabinets, and you can even find them in loose spawns too. I was getting 4 or 5 a raid, so they're pretty easy to find. Plus, it's late, so they might be kind of expensive right now, but I was seeing them for like 45 to 55K on the flea. So even if you're not finding them there, and you don't need them till later, don't be in a rush to get them. Just do a couple of scav raids on reserve, and you'll get them. But I did find them on shoreline and woods as well. So they are on other maps. Just reserve was the easiest. You will also need a Zibbo. So keep one of these, find them in filing cabinets, and a blue fuel. It does not matter if it is full or empty. And these do not have to be found in raid. Oh, and neither do the flash drives. The flash drives don't have to be found in raid either. But the Zibbo and the fuel do not have to be, so you can buy them. But Zibbos are kind of pricey right now, so be cautious of that. And then the last thing you're going to need is an insect wrench. Now, you don't necessarily have to have this, but it's going to help out a ton if you do. What we're going to be using it for is the Uzi barter, and it's just going to save you a ton of money. Even if you buy the insect wrench, it's cheaper than what happened to buy this out. If you have one of these Uzis with a suppressor on it, you're safe. Don't worry about it. That's what we're going after. So that right there is your shopping list of everything you're going to need. So keep that in mind as you're doing these tasks. Grab these items the best you can, or use your search function. See if you have RAMs sitting in your hideout somewhere, or in your stash hiding from you somewhere. With that out of the way, let's get onto the task guide itself. For this, if you do get hung up, the wiki is a great source of info that is constantly updated, so don't hesitate to use it. I still use it almost every day. I use it for this video, and I use it just playing Tarkov all the time when there's stuff I can't remember. But first up is going to be Friend From Norvinsk Part 1. This is... I don't know what the prerequisites for this. I haven't seen anybody yet that didn't get it, so I don't know what like the minimum level is, but it's pretty low. Pretty much everybody has access to this. And it gives you lots of components you need for your hideout. Things are going to help you get stuff leveled up, even if you're a low level. The first one requires you simply to go to reserve and check 3 rooms. All you have to do is walk into them and then survive and extract. You don't have to do it in the same raid. It took me 4 raids to do it because I kept getting killed. But you can do 1 room a raid, and then you can do 3 raids and then die and then survive the raid after that, and you're good to go. It doesn't have to, it's not one of those tasks that resets if you die, which is great. So let's hop into an offline raid real quick, and I'll show you guys on reserve where specifically these rooms are at, so you know where to go. Okay, so the first room we're going to go into is inside White Bishop, or the medical building. If you don't know where that is, there's the helicopter. We're on reserve. This is the crossroad. That's the scav joint extract. There's Dome. We're going to go right over here and go into the front door. I guess it's the front door of White Bishop. And it's just the first room on the left. It's just this room right here. This is it. This is going to check off the box for White Bishop. Now, the next one was a little confusing. It made it sound like this schoolhouse. So we looked all over the schoolhouse, but it's not there. It is actually in King, which is the middle building, kind of the tech building, if you will. And it's up on the 3rd floor. There's a couple of ways you can get in there. You can go from the inside, but actually one of the faster ways to go, though a little bit more dangerous, is up on the outside here. You can just go all the way up on the roof, go in the door right here, and it's going to be this big office space right here. This is the room you're going to go into, and this is going to check your second box. And if you're wondering, this is you can come all the way up from these stairs right here, which is where we're going to go now, because the 3rd room is all the way in the basement. So we'll see in a second the basement. Okay, we're down in the command bunker now. This is kind of the big open area in front. You come back in here. This back here goes to D2, or the switch for D2 is back over there. You come all the way down this hallway, and this is where the water is. You know, you can go down here and you get in the water and you're all slow and stuff. Don't do that. The last room is this one right here. It's the one room all by itself, all the way down on the end on the right. That is going to be your 3rd and final room. And after that, it's just a matter of surviving. Okay, so you get out of reserve, you turn in your thing, Friend From Norvinsk Part 1, and you get, shocker, Part 2. And this one is going to require you to go to Shoreline and go into the resort. So once again, let's hop in an offline raid and show you guys exactly where you need to go and look. Okay, so for Shoreline, we're going to go in this little room right here where I'm looking. But if you're wondering where we're at, this is East Wing. There's admin. There's the fire truck over there that you used to go in. It's right here. This little room in East Wing is where you're going to come to go look for a Golden Summit G1 phone, essentially. And it's got 4 spawns that we know of. One's going to be on this chair right here. The other one is right on the table, easy to see. The 3rd one is kind of here in the pillow, kind of tucked in the side. And then the last one, this is the one that I had that kind of threw me off, is underneath the couch right here, on the floor underneath the couch. Oh my God, it's underneath the couch. There it is. And then you take that out and you got to extract with it. You do not need a survive technically. Like if you get a run through, you're fine. So when I did this, I ran up here, I grabbed the phone and I beated right for Red Rebel and got out. And I ended up getting to survive because I killed a scav, but I did it in less than 7 minutes. So again, you don't need to survive. You can have a run through. If you die, you'll lose the phone, but you don't, that whole survive status thing doesn't matter for this one like it did for the last task. Okay, so you get a Shoreline, you grab your phone, you turn it into mechanic, and you complete Friend From Norvinsk Part 2, and you're on to Part 3. Now, Part 3's got an interesting part to it. 2 sides of this. You can obtain any information on the diary from the scavs. You need to kill 15 scavs, and then you got to find mechanic's diary and hand over the mechanic friend's diary and hand over the found item. What they're talking about here specifically is an item you can find on scavs. If you find it, I'm just pointing this out so you know what it is. You don't need to have it, but it's this map right here, right? And this map, if you look, it shows this is Sunken Village. This is a little boathouse, some of the other houses. This is that church that's out in the middle. So for the mission, we'll go off to woods. I'll show you where you need to loot here over by the swamp. And the 15 kills, the 15 scav kills can happen on any map. You can get it done on woods on this map, but if you don't like woods or you get it done somewhere else because you're doing everything, that's fine. It's just 15 kills anywhere in Tarkov. Okay, so we're on the far north end of woods. We're at the Sunken Village, as people call it, the Swamp Village, whatever you want it is, whatever you want to call it. And we are going to go get the diary. So it's going to be out here by this church. You can go out either side. I'm just over here for this one because it's easier. And there's 2 spawns over here. So the first one we're going to look at is going to be right here in the water. It's going to be kind of hard to see. It's going to be right there. And there's a diary. The second one is actually in the boat. So it's from the front side. If you're looking at it, it's going to be right here on this side. It might be kind of hard to see. You might have to get right up in the middle to find it, but it's going to be right there. The third one is going to be up on the church itself, and it's going to be up underneath right here. So you'll grab that. And then the other spawns, there's 3 of them. They're going to be inside this thing. It can be difficult to get in and out of here, so you just got to wiggle your way and crouch and stuff to get through that door sometimes. But the hard one to get, you've actually got to come over to this side, I think, and it's going to be underneath right here. You're just going to see a corner of it. You might have to lean over to grab it. But the other 2 are real easy. The other one's sitting right there, or it's sitting right here, basically. Those will be your spots for the diary. Again, you've got to get that, and you've got to get out of raid with it. See, I struggled right there to get out. Got to wiggle a little bit. But you got to get out of raid with that so you can turn it in, and then as well do your 15 scav kills for mechanic. You can turn the diary in before doing the 15 scav kills if you want those. So don't worry about that too much. Okay, so now we are on to part 4. And this one's pretty straightforward if you followed the shopping list that I gave you ahead of time. So pretty straightforward. Turn in your 2 PC CPUs, your 4 RAM sticks, and your 3 printed circuit boards. Or you can do microcontroller boards, but there's no reason to do that. Don't do those unless, I guess, you have no other reason to, and you don't want to craft the circuit boards or find them on a scav raid, I guess. But you turn those in. Again, he gives you the green batteries. I told you that you were going to be using those and you were going to get them back. So any that you bought, you can turn around and sell these again, assuming you have the flea market. And that's pretty much it. Part 5 is, this is where the caveat where I said you could get this done in 4 or 5 hours. There's a caveat here. There are some time gates on this that I hope BSG gets rid of. They probably won't, but maybe they will. They do. It's great. But after you do this, you've got part 5, but there's a 30-minute wait. So turn in part 4 and then go run a raid or a scav raid or 2, whatever you need to do, 30 minutes before the next one's going to show up. And that's going to be, shocker, Friend from Norvinsk part 5. God, I'm terrible at pronouncing that. And I wish I could provide you guys with more backstory here, but I really can't. I don't understand the cipher. I couldn't find anyone directly who did. I guess the cipher answer is unheard. So if you're into this code breaking stuff, that's where it's at. I can't confirm that. I tried to check it. I did it lazily. I threw it into Grok and it didn't answer it very well. And that was about all I had because we already have the answer. Through other people doing the work and doing the stuff, the way to fix this out or figure this out is your cultist circle. And this is where your blue fuel can and your Zippo come in from mechanic. You take the diary that mechanic's going to give you. You put that in the cultist circle with a Zippo and a fuel. I did a full one. I don't know if an empty one works. Throw down in the comments if you know for sure, if you want to risk it. But I did a full one. Probably doesn't matter if it's a full one or an empty one, but that's a probable. I don't know. And it will spit out like a minute and a half or 2 minutes later a CD. And that CD that the cultist circle spits out, you give to mechanic and you complete part 5, which again, you will have another 30-minute wait after turning this in for the next quest, which is breathing room. So this is the next one. After 30 minutes, you get breathing room. And this is essentially a gunsmith task. So let's do this like a gunsmith task. The best part is there is a barter for mechanic that gets you almost everything you need minus a few parts right here. It's for the insect wrench. It is on level 1 mechanic. Everybody should have this. So just go to the flea. If if you're level 35. I guess if you're not level 35, we'll go through another build for you, but you should have one of these insect wrenches. If you don't have the flea, we'll walk you through it, but this is the pipe wrench. Buy the pipe wrench, do the barter, and you got your Uzi right here, right? So really straightforward. I'm going to do this real quickly, okay? The 4 parts you need to buy is an MRS sight. Now, you don't have to buy this sight. Any red dot will do that's over 200 sighting range, 200 or more. A PKO6 does not work. It's only 100. So don't use that, but the MRS is cheap. You can buy it for like 13,000. You need a type 6 buttstock. This is on mechanic, and then you need an Uzi front grip, which you will get off of mechanic, and then an Uzi sight scope mount, top scope mount that'll go on mechanic. And let's build it in the gun builder so you can see what we're gonna do here. So first up, you're gonna take off this, you're gonna take off the laser, you're gonna take off this front part, and you're gonna switch the forward grip to the Uzi front grip. Then here on the Uzi SW, you're gonna switch this to the type 6. And then you put your sight on, then you put your MRS. Let's see here, where is it? Right there. And then you click assemble, and you're good. And that is your Uzi. Now, these parts are pretty similar, but let's go through a build with a regular Uzi so that you guys can see everything you have to do here and what it's gonna cost. So if you don't have the flea and you can't do an insect wrench, it's not too much more complicated. It's pretty straight up. The big thing is the mag. A lot of people are gonna overlook that, so don't overlook this mag. You need this for ergo. It's a magazine that adds ergo, so keep that in mind. So first off, we're going to throw the suppressor on, which goes in the place of the barrel retaining nut. So suppressor goes on just like before. You're going to put the Uzi front grip on. We're going to put the type 6 on, the sight, and then the MRS. Where is it? Right there. Okay, now the mag you want to do is the Uzi 9x19 20 round magazine. It looks a little bit lighter colored than the rest, and if you look in the top right, it's +2 ergo. You need to do that to get yourself over that 60 ergo, and then your recoil's fine where you're at. Now, if you're going to build this, let's see what this costs. Everything from the traders, we're talking 85,000 rubles. Suppressor being 60,000 of it, but that's everything you're going to need to buy straight off the traders to do this. And that's the build. Okay, let's turn it in and just show you guys that it works and that it functions the way we said it would. Just like that. Easy peasy. Get your batteries, sell them on the flea if you have it, then you can go on to game review part 1. All right, so you've turned in breathing room. You're done with that. You have, once again, another 30-minute wait, and that's going to be for game review part 1. And you're going to do this, and he's going to give you the CD, and you're going to take that CD, and you're going to go put it in your rest space, and you're going to play a game inside Tarkov. It's a text-based game. You can click through it pretty quick. You don't have to read stuff. The shortest way to do this, it is a cool game. I suggest you give it a try. It was kind of fun to go through it, and there's multiple different paths, but they essentially all end up in the same place. The quick way to go through it is once you first get in there, make sure you go to the battlefield, get the ring off the body, go to the elder, give the elder the ring. He gives you a note, then you go to the guards, and then that's it. You get the task forwarded from there. You can go back and play the game multiple times and try different paths and do different things. There's some creepy shit in there, some kind of cool stuff. It's interesting. It's how some of us old people, we used to play. That's how we used to play video games. I guess it goes back to the day. There's still games like it today, but this is original RPG kind of stuff. I want to say 90s, but it might have been even older than that, and I don't want to date myself anymore. So, anyways, go through. You get the task. You're soft locked, so you have to give the disc back to Nikita, back to mechanic, and that is where you get progress difficulties part 1. That is the next task here. Give the CD back to him, and that's pretty much it. You give it back and you're done. And you have another wait. Now this one I think it was an hour going from part 1 to part 2. Progression difficulties part 1 to part 2. I think it was about an hour. It might have been 30 minutes, but I was running raids, helping some other friends get through the tasks, and I didn't have it for a while. So I want to say it was an hour, but it might be 30 minutes. this is where you're going to use your flash drives. All those 11 flash drives I told you to pick up, this is where you're going to use them. It's a slow and painful process. You're going to decrypt this in your Intel Center, and it's going to be about 10 minutes per craft, sped up with your crafting skill. But there's 11 of these you have to do. So 110 minutes, so nearly 2 hours. If you just sit there and do nothing but these, it's going to be 2 hours to get through all of them. I just did them between raids, so it took a little bit longer. We got it done. Once it's completed, you get the decrypted intelligence folder, and you just turn that back into mechanic. And then that completes the task. And then after that, you get game review part 2. So let's hop up there and look at this one where he gives you the disc back, and now you have the password because you decoded it, and you pick up the game kind of where you left off. Again, you work your way through your dialogue on this. It's some more cool stuff. There's a couple of paths, and again, you get soft locked and tells you you need the full version to play. And that leads to where we are now, where I am, and I have not gotten any further, and that is Last Spurt Pioneer. You give the disc back to mechanic, and you need to find the second game disc for this. And this is where the trail kind of dries up for now as far as everybody who's working through this. And I haven't got any farther, as you can see. I also suspect we're going to see something from Fence. In fact, actually we did. It did pop up while I was filming this. It popped up. So you get this other task from Fence. It's called External Interest. You got to hand over a copy of the programmer's diary. It's super straightforward and simple. You just go to mechanic. When you did the task, when you completed that other task, he gives you the ability to buy it. Right here, you just click on info items. It is 10,000 rubles. You buy that, and you come into Fence, and you turn that diary into him. Now, I'm not going to do this. I'm going to wait a little bit because of the dialogue with mechanics, specifically with this last spurt. So, he says, Fence and those behind him don't want anyone to know about it. Seems like many things are becoming clear. Now, I understand why my friend wanted these things to be out in the open. Too bad he couldn't make it in time. All right. I guess I'm just going to turn this in. Never mind. Change my mind. We'll turn it in. We'll see what's happened. We're all here together. Yay. Nothing blew up in our face. Good. Don't tell anybody about this. I like to solve problems quick, and people who talk too much are real problems. Okay, there might be another time gate behind this. I don't know what it is, but we did get a moonshine and 14,000, 15,000 rubles. Every little bit helps. We'll see if we piss off mechanic with that. I don't know. Maybe at some point he's really unhappy with us. But that's where we will finish it off here with Last Sprut. I will pick this up from here in the next video. This is where we'll pick up, is finishing this task and how to do it. There's dozens of people hunting reserve right now trying to find this disc. And if you're here and you're impatient, go over to the wiki, the Discord. Those guys are there, they're active, and you might, if you want to help, you could do it there, or if you want to just watch it unfold. It's kind of cool to watch everybody work together to a common goal like this. It's in the Discord, the wiki Discord, the Tarkov wiki Discord, and it is in the new info forum. You'll go in there and you can see where people are trying to put info together for this and find stuff so that they can update the wiki. Make sure you stay polite over there. If you get out of hand, the mods won't tolerate it, and nor should they. They will yeet you out of there pretty quick. So be polite and be nice. Don't make me look bad because I sent you over there. But that's it. So we'll wrap it up there. I'll be back at it once we get further along, and we'll do another video for the next steps. As always, thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. It helps me out a ton. Tells YouTube you want to watch more of my content. I hope you guys get to enjoy the event and you're liking it. I am. It's fun. It's new. But we'll see you in Tarkov.